5 unconventional ways to cut your fuel bill in half. Now, if you're feeling that the fuel price has been increasing and increasing and you just don't have that breathing space anymore, it's cutting into the disposable income that you have and just making your budget so tight and uncomfortable. Well, what I want to share with you in this video is 5 unique ways in which you can change that situation completely. And I'm starting off with point number 5 because I believe it's the one that is the most impactful for you, and then we'll run the way through on the others. And before I get started, it's unconventional, meaning I'm not going to talk to you about changing your tires or driving slowly or closing up your windows versus the aircon being on. This is just completely unconventional. And I think it's something fresh given what has happened with the world with the pandemic and all of that. So let's get started. The first thing I want to share with you, which is completely unique, is I want you to shift your mind from how you're thinking right now. So at the moment, you are focused on this being your expenses, in which case it's your fuel. So if you look at your monthly expenses, and then this blue circle being income. So at this point in time, when you are focused on fuel, how do you cut the fuel bill in half? Your focus is heavily around expenses, meaning how do we keep the expenses to be low? But the way to grow wealth is, yes, you want expenses low, but what if we could increase your income? So what if we could make that income circle be bigger and still keep the expenses the same? Now, if we do that, then that's automatically going to cut your fuel bill in half. And here's the example I'm going to show you. So for example, if your fuel bill comes to, say, 2,000 Rand a month, that's the cost of your fuel bill. And currently your income is, just using an example, again, let's say it's 30,000 per month. Now, what if there was a way in which we could increase this income and we brought the new income to 40,000? So what you've done in essence is you've gained an income by 10,000 and your fuel bill being at 2,000, it's just showing you that your fuel bill is a lot less now. You were able to cut this in half. We're just shifting. I'm shifting the way that you're viewing it. And the reason I'm saying this to you is I want you to get into the habit of seeing things that you can control and knowing what you can't control. So right now it's fuel expenses that you're concerned about, but do you have any control over how the fuel price increases or decreases? No. Do you have any control over food prices? Do you have any control over employment? See, or the government? There's a lot of things that you don't have control over, but what you do have control over is your ability to earn an income. See? And I'm going to be guiding you on some ways that you can use now in order to increase that income, because I know that's what's on your thoughts right now. Sounds like a good idea to increase the income, but how exactly do you increase the income? Well, one thing is doing exactly what I'm doing for you right now. What I'm doing right now is giving you information, adding value to you via this YouTube channel. Was it something that I was doing a while ago? No. See? But what I've identified is one of my advantages or benefits is being able to take complex insurance information and bring that down in a way that is easy for people to understand. And that's what this whole YouTube channel is about. Now, in the beginning, when I started, here's the weird thing. I assumed that every single financial advisor out there was able to do this. But when I was interacting with clients one-on-one, I realized that, no, this is something that they've not experienced before. And I'm sharing this with you because perhaps it's the same for you. You have some hobby, you have some talent right now, which maybe you're just afraid and you're not letting the world know about it. This could be gardening. It could be some kind of other hobby. It could be playing a particular sport. It could be maybe something mechanics that you're very, very good at. It could be a hobby. Now, what I want to invite you is let other people know that this is what you're doing. And as you start to share that experience with them on social media, this is when you can attract something to create maybe your own new business. And that's how you can then start to escalate the income. It's taking something that you know and you love right now, whatever is your passion, starting on a small scale and then just expanding that. See? So it's a shift in focus in terms of how you view your income and also being able to deliver value in advance. So that's the first secret is I want you to focus on income and not so much on expenses. That leads me into my next point. And the next aspect that I want to share with you here is something that I've learned in a book that my brother had gifted me many years ago. It's called Think and Grow Rich. If you don't have a copy of this, then I strongly encourage this for you, especially if you have insecurities around money, which I did have many years ago. Just like you might think money is the root of all evil, or it's not good to have a lot of money. It changes your personality and who you are. But Think and Grow Rich helps you to understand the psychology of money and also teaches you how you can earn money but still be a good person. So if you haven't already got it, I encourage you to invest in a copy of Think and Grow Rich. So the second secret that I want to share with you is something that is referred to in the book, that's giving value in advance, or as he puts it, giving more than what you're getting paid for. Giving more than what you're getting paid for. So right now, if you are in the fortunate position to have your own job, so you're working for someone in a company, I want you to analyze how much are you giving in that job. And let's use an example. If you are given 10 tasks or 10 responsibilities, how many of those 10 responsibilities are you able to complete? Now, chances are maybe you are doing 7 of those responsibilities, in which case I want to encourage you to take it up, get yourself to the point where you're completing all 10. If you are doing 10 tasks, then I also want you to elevate this. And I want you to get to the point where you are doing more. So you want to be able to do 12 or 15 tasks. This is giving more than what you're getting paid for. And I want you to get in the habit of this, because if you look at so up here, we'll say you're a manager, it could be a supervisor or the boss of the company, or it could be the CEO. But that individual is basically assessing the people in the company and how good they are at performing the tasks that they have been given. Now, when they analyze you and they're having a look at the responsibilities you are being given, if you are finishing 7 out of the 10 tasks, is that going to be are they in a position to increase your salary, given that you're doing less than what they're actually paying for? And this is where the secret's coming in now. What if they can see that you actually are doing 15 tasks, but you're actually getting paid for 10? Chances are, if everything goes well, they then could say to you, look, I'm going to give you an above average increase. And they give you an above average increase. This is how you're going to be able to cut your fuel bill in half. It's again focusing not on expenses, but we're focusing on the income side. But you're doing it from a different perspective. Now, I know there's a part of you that might be wondering, what happens if you do all this 15 tasks for them and suddenly they still want more and more and more, and they're not actually changing your salary? Well, what I want to share with you is when you start delivering more, when you start giving more than what you are getting paid for, who's ultimately benefiting from that experience? Because you are now tasked with these 10 responsibilities, you're doing 15. The extra 5 responsibilities means you're learning new skills, you're acquiring new abilities, and that's enhancing you. It's making you more marketable. It's making you get to the point where perhaps you might run your own business, but you're learning new skills. So even if your reward does not come in the way of an increased salary, the reward can come in the future in terms of you being able to start your own business. It could come in the future where you don't know, there might be another company who is analyzing your skills. So you might be headhunted. Or maybe there's a job position that now wants you to have these 15 tasks that you can actually apply for, and suddenly your salary is doubled. But you want to do this because when you give in advance, you're putting yourself in a position where you're able to attract more. Right? So you want to get in that habit of giving more than what you're getting paid for. So that's the second secret that I want to share with you, because doing this can put you in a position of earning a higher income, and naturally a higher income is going to lead to you paying less. Well, if you keep your expenses lower, but it's going to help you with the fuel bill. And then that focus takes me straight on to the third secret that I want to share with you. And that secret also lends its mind or lends the thought around the same concept, meaning that ability for you to give more than what you are getting paid for, or give more than what you are doing in advance. Right? And if you can do this, you can then unlock this ability, and that is to work from home. Now, here's the secret. If you had to approach the CEO or your boss or manager and say, you want to work from home, chances are they might say no, or they might be reluctant. But during the pandemic, a lot of us were working from home. The question here is they just want to know that you're actually going to complete the task and you're going to be effective working from home. So this again comes back why I spoke to you here about giving more than what you are getting paid for. So here's the secret. If you are able to work from home, say for half a month, then you're cutting your fuel bill down 50%. See? And that automatically brings an advantage to you. But what if you could work all the days of the week from home? So that again brings another advantage because you're cutting your fuel bill down significantly. See? The way to do it though is, again, giving more, and you're giving more in advance. So before you make the request to say you want to work from home, this is what you want to do. If you have 10 tasks again, so 10 responsibilities, you first want to make sure that you can complete all 10. Then you want to make sure that you can complete, let's say, another 12 tasks. So 2 more than what you're getting paid for. And then at that point, you can go to the CEO or your boss and say, look, I've been in a position where I'm completing more, but the travel to and from home, I've been thinking about this carefully. It's actually taking me an hour to get to and from work. Now, if I have to take the same hour into my work, I can actually complete 15 tasks being at home because I don't have to be stuck in traffic. So those 15 tasks I can complete. And then you're going to ask for this to be tested out. So you say, let's do it for a trial basis for the first month. We'll see how it works. Or let me be at home to do these works for 2 weeks in a month. But you're offering a trial. And in that trial, this is where you want to make sure you're still giving more. So the moment you start to do that, they will start to have faith and belief in you. And again, this is when you can go back now to change this from working half the time at the office to working all the time at home. But this is one of your unique ways in which you can shift this significantly. Now, the next 2 ways, also unconventional ways, is just in terms of your car insurance. And I'm going to use myself as an example here, using my current car insurance. The cost of the insurance is currently around 2,000 Rand. But when I was in the market for shopping around to look for pricing, I could have gotten the exact same cover, and it would have cost me 1,750 Rand. So 1,750 Rand. So now you'd be wondering, why would I take something that's more expensive? So why would I go here if I could have saved 250 a month? Well, this company offered me a rewards program. And that rewards program was linked to my driving. Now, you must have heard of, and I started the video talking about this, there's certain ways in which you could drive that then makes you to use less fuel. But the thing is, you might not be in the habit of driving in that way. I wasn't in the habit. But the moment I got to this rewards program and I started to understand what the insurance company was trying to do, I then started to analyze, what do I need to do to get the most rewards? So the rewards was in different tiers. And the tiers, let's just say, was, I'll use examples, 5% back of premium, 10% back of premium, 20% back of premium, and 30% back of premium. So there's certain things you need to do, and depending on your level, you can now move up the scale. So I first went back to have a look. What do I need to do to get on 30%? So I then started to analyze. These are all the things I need to do. Great. Let me work on those 5 aspects. The moment I worked on the 5 aspects, I then knew I could, and I did this in advance. So before I made the change, I could get back 30% of 200 Rand. Now 30% of 200 Rand is 600 Rand. And over a 12-month period, that's 7,200. So what's happening is, yes, I'm paying an extra 250 Rand more. So I'm paying 250 more than what I should have been paying, right? Because I could have got this for 1,750. But by me paying that, I'm actually getting back a reward of 600 Rand in rewards. So if you look at the difference, I'm paying 250 more, I'm getting back 600 Rand. So which means my net effect, I'm actually gaining 350, which I'm attributing to say this is my saving in fuel. Now here's the thing, it's a double bonus here because the insurance company is monitoring how I'm driving, which now means I've got to make sure I'm sticking to the speed limit, I'm not braking hard, I'm using familiar routes, I'm driving well. That's keeping me safe, it's keeping my family safe. Because I'm not speeding, it's also keeping my fuel bill low. In addition to that, I'm now getting this as a cash back. So I'm getting that getting paid back to me, which I can attribute as a saving towards fuel. So what I want to encourage you is go back to the insurance company and analyze what sort of rewards program they have in place. And then I want you to identify whether there's some kind of tier in the rewards program. When you identify the tier, I want you to see what's the maximum tier, and then what do you need to do in order to ensure that you get to the maximum tier. Might be downloading some app that tracks how you are driving. It might be driving in a certain way, but whatever that requirement is, I want you to analyze it, do it. It's pretty much a once-off and then monitoring. So for myself, in the beginning, I had to learn the skill. But once I have it, it's natural for me now. I don't have to think about it. It just runs behind the scenes and I'm automatically saving that money. So the rewards program here can be a huge, huge benefit for you. And that then takes me to the next thing, which is another rewards program. But this time the rewards program is with your bank. What you would be noticing is a lot of banks are now giving you that ability to earn like fuel rewards. So they will tell you, you fill up at a certain filling station, maybe it's Engine or BP or Sasol, and then you're able to get some kind of reward. So you're getting some cash back as a result of it. Now, what if we could take that to the next level? So this is exactly what I did on my rewards program with my bank. I basically went in to have a look at it. Same setup. It has tiers. I'll use the same examples. There's level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the rewards that I'm getting for fuel gets a lot better when it's on level 5. So let's use examples below it. Let's say at level 1, you get back 5%. And level 2, 10%. Here is 15%. This is 20%. And at level 5, it's 30%. Now, what you want to do is go to analyze the scale first as a starting point, and then see what do you need to do to get to the highest scale possible. And if it's possible for you to get to level 5, because on level 5, you could be getting back, let's say 30% of your fuel spend. Now, notice what's happening. Your fuel bill might be 2,000 Rand. So that's what you're spending every month, 2,000 Rand. If you are on the lowest level with the bank, that means you are getting this, or the rewards that you're getting back is 5%. And 5% of 2,000 Rand, it's still your same fuel spend. You're still getting something back, right? But what if we could get you to level 5? So if you got to level 5, you're now getting this 30% back in my example. And then your fuel bill is coming to 2,000, which then means 30% of that is 600 Rand. So you're now able to get back an additional 600 Rand. Coupled with the other techniques that I've shared with you so far, it should accelerate you to the point where you're able to get this working for you perfectly well. So now you've got 5 different techniques, completely unconventional and basically new. It's a change from what we had before in terms of how to save fuel. I want to know from you, which of the 5 are you going to implement? And also, how much of money do you think this is going to help to save you? So once you actually put this into practice, I want you to come back to this video and post a comment here. And if you have any other unconventional ways, then post it in the comment below so that we can help the community grow. Great. And then if you found the video helpful, please click the thumbs up sign and remember to subscribe so that you're able to get the latest content and tips and money saving strategies as soon as I put them up.